The wrestling world just witnessed something nobody saw coming, and it's about to change everything you thought you knew about WWE's women's division. After a full decade away from the squared circle, AJ Lee made her electrifying comeback to WWE during SmackDown at Chicago's Allstate Arena, sending shockwaves through the wrestling community that are still reverberating today. But here's where it gets controversial. Was this return truly organic, or has WWE been orchestrating this moment longer than anyone realizes? Let's rewind to understand the magnitude of this moment. AJ Lee, who captured the Divas Championship 3 separate times during her illustrious career, walked away from professional wrestling following WrestleMania 31 back in 2015. Her departure coincided with her husband, CM Punk's dramatic exit from WWE in 2014, creating a void that many believed would never be filled. At the time, losing such a charismatic and talented female performer seemed like a devastating blow to WWE's women's roster. However, as fate would have it, AJ's absence coincided perfectly with what would become known as the Women's Evolution, a transformative period that elevated women's wrestling to unprecedented heights. This evolution paved the way for new superstars to emerge, including the legendary 4 Horsewomen, consisting of Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, and Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks during her WWE tenure. The seeds for AJ's return were planted in the most unexpected way during WWE Clash in Paris. CM Punk found himself tantalizingly close to capturing the World Heavyweight Championship, with Seth Rollins appearing cornered and without his usual support system. Rollins had confidently declared earlier that evening that he was 2 steps ahead of his competition, a boast that proved prophetic when Becky Lynch intervened to help him retain his championship. But here's the part most people missed. As Punk made his way up the entrance ramp following his defeat, a passionate fan held up a sign pleading for him to bring back AJ to WWE. The camera captured this moment, and Punk's expression suggested he was genuinely contemplating the possibility. Was this simply a spontaneous fan moment, or had WWE planted this seed deliberately? The following evening on Monday Night Raw delivered even more intrigue. Becky Lynch confronted CM Punk with a verbal assault that culminated in her delivering a resounding slap across his face. What made this segment particularly fascinating was how both Lynch and Rollins acknowledged the audience's chants for AJ Lee, something wrestlers typically avoid doing when referencing performers not currently under contract. When Punk inquired with General Manager Adam Pearce about SmackDown's location for the upcoming week and received Chicago as the answer, his satisfied reaction hinted that something significant was brewing. This wasn't the first time the WWE Universe had passionately campaigned for AJ Lee's return to active competition. Over the years, she has consistently maintained that she finds fulfillment in pursuing other creative projects outside of wrestling. However, recent reports from Fightful Select suggest that creative proposals for her return haven't been dismissed as quickly as they were in previous years. Many fans anticipated her surprise appearance during this year's Royal Rumble match, but those hopes went unfulfilled at the time. CM Punk has always maintained a diplomatic stance regarding his wife's potential WWE comeback, repeatedly emphasizing that such a decision rests entirely in her hands. This approach has only fueled more speculation among fans, who continue to analyze every interview and social media post for hidden clues. The climactic moment arrived during SmackDown's closing segment. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch made their entrance, with Lynch heading directly to the ring, while Rollins positioned himself strategically among the Chicago crowd. The atmosphere reached a fever pitch when CM Punk emerged to introduce a returning AJ Lee to the WWE Universe. Visually, AJ appeared remarkably unchanged from her heyday, though eagle-eyed fans noticed she had swapped her signature Chuck Taylor sneakers for a pair of Vans, a small detail that somehow made her return feel both nostalgic, and fresh. The segment reached its crescendo when AJ launched a surprise attack on Becky Lynch before sharing an emotional embrace with her husband, creating a beautiful callback to their intertwined storylines from years past. And this is the part most people miss. AJ's attack on Becky wasn't just random violence. It represents a potential shift in the power dynamics of WWE's women's division that could completely reshape the landscape we've grown accustomed to over the past decade. But here's the million-dollar question that's dividing the wrestling community. Does AJ Lee's return represent genuine excitement for the product? Or is WWE simply capitalizing on nostalgia to boost ratings? Some argue that bringing back past stars undermines the current roster's credibility, while others believe that established names like AJ can elevate everyone around them through compelling storytelling. What's your take on this controversial return? Do you think AJ Lee's comeback will breathe new life into WWE's women's division? Or should the company focus exclusively on developing their current talent? And here's an even more provocative question. If CM Punk's influence played a role in orchestrating this return, does that set a dangerous precedent for how personal relationships might influence WWE's creative decisions going forward? Share your thoughts, and let's debate whether this shocking return is the best thing to happen to WWE in years, or if it's a step backward disguised as progress.